Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all doing very well this Easter Sunday. Happy Easter Sunday. Hope you're having a long weekend, a nice long weekend. Now I've bought myself a new shirt, which doesn't happen very often. David hates it because he doesn't like puffy sleeves. He says I look like a pantomime villain. I really love it, but I only wish that these sleeves would stay as puffy as they are originally. Look, they're very deflated very quickly. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking you through some of the books that I've got my mitts on in the past month. So books that I bought in March, books that I've been sent in March, and you're seeing them now in April. Exciting. Right, I will start with the books that were sent to me. So I've got 4 here that were sent to me by Book Break, lovely Emma at Book Break. The first one, I think it's going to go straight on my TBR. I feel very, very excited about this. I mean, if you've watched my TBR, which I put out on Friday, you'll know that there was about 20 books on there, so another one won't matter, will it? This is Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho, and this is following Jessamine, who, whilst living in the US for a really, really long time, she has to leave her life in America to return to Malaysia, and she isn't happy about doing that at all. And she's got this voice in her head, which is described as a bossy voice. And the first line here says, "There's never a good time to start hearing a voice in your head, especially a bossy one." But Jess, as she's referred to, then realises that that voice is the voice of Arma, her late grandmother, and Arma worshipped a Malaysian deity, the Blackwater Sister, but when a business tycoon offended the goddess, Arma swore revenge. So yeah, I feel like this feels really exciting. It's not actually out until June, but yeah, and also this front cover is lovely. So that's been put to one side because I'm going to read that hopefully this month. Next book I've got, oh, I've been so excited about receiving this, and it's, I don't know if you'll get the full beauty of this because it's got gold foil on it and it doesn't really translate very well when you're filming, but this is the 25th anniversary edition of Bridget Jones's Diary by Helen Fielding. You will know that this is one of my favourite books, and every so often I treat myself to a reread of it. I think I've probably read it about 20 times now. Last time I read it was beginning of last year. Yeah, I think I read Bridget Jones's Diary. I've got the 20th anniversary Picador editions, and then I followed it very quickly with The Edge of Reason. And then this has got other writing, so it's got over 100 pages of new and unpublished material from the author Helen Fielding, and I had a little scan at the back, and it's got a little bit about Bridget in the 21st century, talking about how many Instagram followers she's got. It's got some sort of stuff written by Helen herself saying like this was strange, and like some front covers of newspapers that relate to Bridget Jones. And earlier this year I watched on iPlayer, it's not available on there anymore sadly, but I watched a documentary celebrating Bridget Jones, and had Helen Fielding on it and who she'd based the characters on, and had the actors who were in the Bridget Jones films, and it was just a wonderful hour. I just had a lovely, lovely time watching it. So yeah, I'm definitely due a reread of Bridget Jones's Diary. Maybe I'll treat myself around my birthday to a reread of this one with all the extra bits as well. So yeah, nice, exciting. And then I've got this is the first, so I guess, well, they're both non-fiction. This is The Book Collectors of Daraya. This is a proof copy, so this is what the front cover will look like. And this is a journalist, Delphine Minuse. It's her interviews with a group of young men who in 2012, the rebel suburb of Damascus, Daraya, was attacked by government siege, and these men spent a long time collecting books from houses and ruins and things like that, and setting up a secret library. So yeah, and this is all done so this is a collection of essays of their interviews done over Skype. So yeah, it always sounds really exciting, like exciting is probably the wrong word, interesting. Like, I love reading stuff about books, and this feels like unlike anything I've ever read before. So yeah, really, oh, that is out now already, so that came out on the 18th of March, so that's out already. And then I've got this, which is out, it just says April, so, oh, 1st of April, this is also out. This is The Book of Difficult Fruit by Kate Lebo. Now, I love food writing. This is non-fiction, but I love like food fiction, food non-fiction. I'll always read it. This sounds to me like I'm gonna have a lovely time because it's also done in alphabetical order. So this is an A to Z of different types of fruit, and little essays about those are sort of like dedicated to them. So Q is for quince, M is for medlar, H is for huckleberry, D is for durian, B is for blackberry, and I can't wait to read this. Looks like it's got a few recipes and stuff in there. And yeah, it sounds amazing. And Kate Lebo is an essayist, poet and pie lady, and she expertly blends natural, culinary, medicinal and personal history in this A to Z of intriguing fruit, from the invasive to the poisonous and the explosive. Yeah, so I'm so excited about this. I love like memoir writing, I love food writing, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to read this. So, oh God, maybe this will go on my TBR as well. I mean, should I? Yeah, why not? Why not? Another one on there. Then this very exciting and very special thing arrived. So this is 84 Charing Cross Road, which is by Helen Hanff. And I know this is a book that's been out for a long time. I think it was first published in 1971, and I heard about this through Lena's channel. I believe this is on, when you join Lena's Patreon, you get sent a list of books which are her favourite books of all time, and I've got a feeling this is on here. And anyway, it's a book about a bookshop, and it's an epistolary written through letters and things. I can't wait to read it. This is also going to go on the TBR as well. But this was sent to me from my wish list. So this is the first time this has ever happened. I've got a wish list, which I have linked down below. This is not an invitation for you to go and buy me a book on my wish list, although that would be lovely. I've never mentioned it until this moment. So this lovely person who has gone onto my wish list and bought a book to me, which has just arrived, like, whoever that is, thank you so much. That's such a kind thing to do. And I put on Instagram, like, oh, if you sent me this, please do let me know, because it's really, really kind of you. And nobody, so I've had this for about 3 weeks and I still don't know who sent it to me. So it was such a lovely, kind thing to do. The kindness of strangers, and it's just so lovely, isn't it? So yeah, it really sort of came to me on a day. I was just like, oh God, that is just so kind. So yes, thank you if you're watching this. Please do make yourself known, if not in the comments, and just drop me an email, because I'd love to say thank you to you for sending this to me. And yeah, I'm very, very excited about this. And also, when I put a post up on Instagram saying I've been sent this from my wish list, everybody, whoever's done it is so kind. So many people said to me that this is one of their favourite books. It's amazing. I'm gonna love it. So yeah, I will definitely be reading it. And also the good thing is that the sequel is also in this. The sequel is called The Duchess of Bloomsbury Street. So yeah, it's got a sequel included. So yeah, put that on the TBR as well. Right, all of these are ones that I've bought myself. First one is a pre-order, What White People Can Do Next, from Allyship to Coalition by Emma Dabry. Look at this bloody front cover, it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, you will all know that Don't Touch My Hair by Emma Dabry was one of my favourite books of last year. We've just actually read it. I've done it as I've reread it this year for my Patreon book club, and I listened to the audiobook of it this year, which was so exciting. So when I saw that Emma, this has actually got the things that come from bookshop.org, when I pre-ordered it. When I saw that Emma had a new book coming out, I pre-ordered it literally the day she announced it, and have been sitting pretty waiting for it to arrive. So this is also going on the TBR this month, and this is about sort of, white people you've bought the books, you've seen the horrific news, what can you do next to be a true ally? It says here, stop the denial, stop the false equivalences, interrogate whiteness, interrogate capitalism, denounce the white saviour, abandon guilt. So yeah, it's actually, I mean, I don't know if I expected it to be big, but yeah, I was excited to see that it's sort of like a long form essay type thing. So yeah, that's going on the TBR as well. Next up is The Descent of Man by Grayson Perry. Now, I had always thought Grayson Perry was a bit highbrow for me. I've seen people read Grayson's book before, this book in particular, on BookTube, looked at reviews and didn't really know much about Grayson Perry. Then I started watching, because one of my resolutions for this year is, or like a goal that I want to do, I would like to do some art. And I didn't, that's quite vague, and I didn't know what I wanted to do in terms of art. So I thought, well, I knew there was a programme on every Friday night on Channel 4 called Grayson's Art Club, so I've watched the second series of that, and I haven't watched the first series. It all happens during lockdown, and the first series happened during the first lockdown, and it's Grayson and his wife Philippa, and them taking a theme every week and doing art. Now, I have fallen in love with Grayson and Philippa, and in love with their views on art and how like it can be like sort of like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I just love them and love watching Grayson and love watching him do art and watching Philippa do art, that I thought, well, just read the bloody book. So yeah, this is, and it's also got art in it, so I'm very, very excited that it's got art in it. But this is Grayson's sort of looking at masculinity and toxic masculinity, and yeah, what makes a man and what do you have to do to qualify to be a man, and yeah, Grayson here is looking at how to make the world a better place for everyone, and I can totally believe that he's out because he just seems like such a kind, good person. So yes, very, very excited about this. This is I Was Their American Dream, a graphic memoir by Malika Garib. This has been on my wish list for such a long time because I saw Mercedes review it and I was like, oh, I must read that, and I had it on my wish list and thought I'd just treat myself to it. So yeah, I think I'm going to read this for the cozy reading night on Friday. So cozy reading night this Friday. I don't know what the date that'll be. I never bloody know what the date's going to be, do I? You'd think I'd just sort it out, wouldn't you? Let's have a look now. So the next cozy reading night is the 9th of April, so that's this Friday coming up, and it's bumper cozy reading night. So normally cozy reading night is 3 hours. This cozy reading night is going to be 5 hours. It's going to run between 6 and 11, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. BST. And I'd love to read this, so I'm going to read that. I will be doing a TBR of other plans for that. This book will be featuring, and that will be coming up on Wednesday. That'll be my next video going up. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be reading that. And then the next one is a book that I've bought because I'm doing something that I've dubbed Little Women, where I'm reading Little Women and retellings of Little Women throughout May, and this is Meg Jo by Virginia Cantra, and this is it's a modern tale of 4 sisters, again with the same names, and Jo has moved to New York City and she's a journalist and things like that, so it just seems like the same sort of like characteristics and personality traits that were in the 4 girls in the classic have been sort of reimagined in the modern world. Yeah, so yeah, quite like this front cover as well. It's quite modern, isn't it? Next up, this is a book I bought second hand. I'm surprised at how heavy these sort of books are. Bought second hand from the charity, from the volunteers desk at the hospital that I work at. £1 this cost me, £1. Now this isn't going to appeal to everybody, but it's Ant and Dec, Once Upon a Tyne. So Ant and Dec, if you're in the UK, you'll know Ant and Dec. They are TV presenters. They've been TV presenters since they were very young. They worked together on a telly show. They were actors in a telly show called Biker Grove, set in Newcastle, which I used to watch when I was very young, like 9, 10, and they were in that, and then they've become TV programs and TV presenters, and I've sort of grown up with them. Anyway, I've read their other book. God, this is it's so heavy. I think it's because it's all sort of done on this paper, but it's really, really heavy. I read their other book, which is their autobiography. I can't think what that's called. And what I really like about it is that it's written as a twosome, and some of it, like in the other book, it's like some of it's written in italics and some of it's written just in normal font, and like they both get their point of view across, and like that had been written quite a while ago, and I just find them really funny, and I really enjoy their sort of like seeing them on telly and stuff. So yeah, I saw this was £1 and I thought I'll buy it for myself. So I don't know when I'll get around to reading it, but yeah, very, very excited. And then the last 3 are books that I have bought that were on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. These have also appeared on my TBR, so if you watched my TBR from Friday you would have seen them already. And the first one is Claire Fuller, Unsettled Ground, and this is about a set of twins who are in their 50s, Jeannie and Julius, and they live with their mother called Dot, their elderly mother called Dot, in sort of rural poverty, and then Dot dies quite suddenly, and Jeannie and Julius have to sort of look at like going into sort of like the outside world, where they've very much been sort of like at home and kept away from like normal life, I guess, and they sort of make music and they grow their garden and things like that. So yeah, this is, I'm really, really excited about reading this, and I think this front cover's bloody amazing. Next up we've got Nothing But Blue Sky by Kathleen McMahon. This is about a chap called David who has been married for 20 years to his wife Mary Rose, and Mary Rose dies quite suddenly, same as Dot, and then he sort of looks into their relationship and their marriage and sees if their marriage was quite the marriage that he thought that they'd had. I believe I'm not going into great detail about this because I've just mentioned these in my TBR. So yeah, if you want more details on those, go and check out my TBR. And then lastly is Detransition Baby by Tori Peters, which is the book that we're going to be reading for my Patreon book club this month. And this is about Reese, who is a trans woman in a relationship, loving relationship with Amy, apartment in New York, job that she doesn't hate, and then their relationship breaks down. Then Reese comes into contact with Amy, who is also a trans woman, later on, and Amy has detransitioned and has taken on the name Ames and has been having a sexual relationship with, is it a co-worker? Yeah, with his boss, and has now, not knowing that he is still fertile, has got his boss pregnant. And Ames and Katrina, his boss, have asked Reese if she will come in and become a family unit with them and having this baby. So yeah, so there's a lot going on. And like I said in my TBR, I haven't read any books which have featured characters which have detransitioned, so I feel very much looking forward to that, and I'm very intrigued by it, and I think it's going to be great. And yeah, so those are the books that I got my hands on in the month of March, but I'm showing you them in April. Let me know what you have read. I'm just getting them together for the thumbnail. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you feel excited by any of these. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!